My fiancé was shot on our wedding day. At his funeral, a stranger whispered, "He's alive, but if you look for him, they'll kill you too." The gunshot echoed through the church before I could say, "I do." 1 second, my fiancé Ethan was smiling at me. The next, blood covered his white shirt. People screamed. The guests dropped to the floor. Someone pulled me behind the altar. By the time the police secured the building, the gunman had disappeared. The doctors pronounced Ethan dead before the ambulance reached the hospital. 3 days later, I buried the love of my life. Or at least, I thought I did. As the mourners slowly left the cemetery, an elderly woman dressed entirely in black stopped beside me. She didn't offer condolences. She leaned close enough for only me to hear. "Don't cry over that coffin." I stared at her. "What?" She looked toward the freshly buried grave. "He's alive." My knees nearly gave out. Before I could ask another question, she grabbed my wrist. "If you try to find him, they'll kill you before he can explain." Then she disappeared into the crowd. I chased her. She was gone. No cameras caught her. No one remembered seeing her. When I told the police, they assumed grief had broken me. My family begged me to move on, but I couldn't. Something didn't feel right. I requested Ethan's autopsy report. It was sealed. I requested the security footage from the church. The police claimed it had been confiscated by federal investigators. Federal? Why would the federal government investigate one murder? That night, I broke into Ethan's apartment. I knew every hiding place. Nothing. Until I noticed one floorboard that sounded hollow. Inside was a burner phone. It contained only one message. "If anything happens to me, trust no one at Blackstone Holdings." Blackstone Holdings. The billion-dollar company where Ethan worked as chief financial officer. The next morning, I visited the company. The CEO greeted me personally. Victor Hale. Tall, calm, perfect smile. "I'm deeply sorry for your loss." His sympathy felt rehearsed. As I turned to leave, his assistant quietly slipped a business card into my coat pocket. Written on the back were 3 words. "Don't trust Victor." That night, my apartment was broken into. Nothing was stolen, except Ethan's laptop. Someone didn't want me asking questions. Instead of running, I dug deeper. The assistant agreed to meet me in secret. She revealed Ethan had uncovered evidence that Blackstone was laundering billions through fake charities. He planned to expose everything. The morning after our wedding. The shooting wasn't random. It was meant to silence him. But if he survived, where is he? She shook her head. "I don't know. I only know someone helped him disappear." 2 days later, the assistant was found dead in what police called a suicide. I knew it wasn't. Now I was next. Someone followed me everywhere. A black SUV outside my apartment. Unknown numbers calling every hour. Then, at exactly 2:17 a.m., the burner phone rang. 1 sentence. "Go to platform 9. The line disconnected. The abandoned train station was empty, except for one man wearing a baseball cap. He slowly removed it. Ethan, alive. I ran toward him. He stepped back. "You can't hug me." "What? They're watching." He explained everything in less than 5 minutes. The bullet had been stopped by a concealed body armor panel he'd begun wearing after discovering someone inside Blackstone wanted him dead. The shooting had been staged with the help of one honest federal agent. If the criminals believed Ethan was dead, they'd stop hunting him long enough for investigators to build a case. "But why didn't you tell me?" His voice broke. "Because they were watching you. The second they realized you knew I was alive, they would have killed you." Suddenly, headlights flooded the station. 3 black SUVs surrounded the platform. Victor stepped out, clapping slowly. "Beautiful reunion," he smiled. "I knew grief would eventually lead her to you." Ethan whispered, "I'm sorry. I never wanted you involved." Victor laughed. "You were never the target." "You were," he pointed at me. "The only witness Ethan would risk exposing himself for." Gunfire erupted. Federal agents stormed the station from every direction. Victor tried to flee. He never made it 10 steps. Months later, the trial exposed the largest financial fraud in the country's history. Victor received multiple life sentences. When the reporters asked why Ethan had allowed the world, including me, to believe he was dead, he answered with complete honesty. "Because I knew she'd spend her whole life searching for the truth. And I trusted that she'd find me." We eventually married, quietly. No photographers, no giant guest list, just 12 people. Before exchanging rings, Ethan smiled. "Hopefully, this wedding ends a little differently." Everyone laughed, especially me, because this time, when someone asked, "Does anyone object?" silence answered. Exactly the way love always deserved. If the person you loved disappeared to save your life, could you ever forgive them for letting you believe they were dead? Even if it was the only way to keep you alive. Create thumbnail.